Morning after Thursday, January 22nd, and we got the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Hammer. He has on an Arizona State shirt today. My West Virginia Mountaineers belt ass last
I,
night. I
I was at
also
listen. I wore it to the gym this morning. I didn't take it off afterwards yet, so I haven't. I didn't get a crazy sweat in, so I kept it on, and I should have thought about that. Should have thought about that one.
no, you're good. I also had us up in the background, so now everybody heard an echo. Just a quick hand up. That one's on me. Early morning, already making mistakes, but I did threaten West Virginia last night. There's a few losses we just can't have. I'm gonna be honest, and one of them is Bobby Hurley. I mean, like, we just can't.
You see the way he talked about Bobby Hurley talked about the home environment at ASU after he was like he basically said like yeah like ever since even before COVID like playing at home is not a home advantage like he basically said without saying these exact words it's miserable here and then in his own words he said I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like that it's over for him. It is over for him.
Am I crazy? Like, so I don't, I've never actually been to Arizona State's campus or anything, but growing up in California, Arizona State was like one of the schools we all wanted to go to. Like, if we were going to leave the
Mm.
state, that was one of the destination schools. Why is it like, why can't he build the environment there?
I don't know. I think it's a athletics thing also, where like they haven't been like this crazy, wildly impressive athletics department in general for a while. I feel like basketball has never been their go-to sport, really. If you think about even the past like 10, 20 plus years. So I think because of that, it's hard to get buy-in from athletics. It's hard to get donors where they just resort to football and stuff. And it doesn't help that Bobby Hurley is your coach right now because he's not like he's very clearly not a good coach. He's long overdue his time there. So all those things together don't make it enough that it's the craziest party school in the country and an amazing school to be at. It is cool. I've been there. That's where I got the shirt. It was really cool there. It's nice. Oh shit. That's that's all I have to say about it. It's a really nice place there. It's nice.
That's what I'm like. I mean, I know the athletics department's never been like, it's not like Arizona, right? Where you're um, constantly like winning, I guess you could say, in basketball. But it being the biggest party school in America, you think you could find 5 to 8 thousand drunk college students that want to watch basketball for 2 hours and drink.
And it's on campus. It's close to everything. You would think that. I mean, this is no slight to you guys either. A home game versus West Virginia doesn't really get them going anyway. I think when they host Arizona or they host Kansas or Houston, sure, they could probably get something going there. But it seems like it doesn't matter, and they don't care to do that. Like I saw Kelvin Sampson 10 years ago hand out tickets himself in cafeterias on Houston's campus, but I don't see Bobby Hurley doing that. I never see him do that stuff. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, Delia says he's tapped in from his organic chemistry lecture. Tell you what, that's a class I would fail.
I can't say I would do very good either, especially at this point in my life. No
I
way.
would definitely fail that. Pickle Rick said, "Good morning, Ryan Dion. Thoughts on the fire words Pope said about the NCAA taking control back?" I didn't see the quote. Did you see it?
I forget exactly what he said. He's basically saying the NCAA should punish Alabama. Obviously, he's saying that in general, but it happens to be one of his in-conference rivals. But I think he's right that so like realistically, with the Charles Bediako stuff, legally Alabama has immunity for during the TRO until the next hearing for like 10 for a few days, 10 days, whatever the TRO is for. They can play him on Saturday and legally not have any repercussion against them. But also, the NCAA can be like, you know what, fuck it. Like, we don't care. We're the NCAA. You guys aren't going to be able to play in the NCAA tournament if you do this because he signed an NBA contract. Now, I think the issue is determining what is an NBA contract and not to them because he signed Exhibit 10 deals. He never signed a two-way deal, to my knowledge.
Mm.
And the NCAA has said that they draw a hard line at NBA contracts, which includes two-way deals. They didn't go into details about like do Exhibit 10s count, like or not, and there's probably a couple other deals that are within that stipulation, but they haven't said that. This would be a chance to set a precedent if they said no, like this is literally like this is to Exhibit 10 is an NBA deal. They could threat. That's what Mark Pope is saying basically. So I'll read you the quote real fast. The NCAA might lose in court, but they still get to decide who makes the NCAA tournament. At some point, we have to take a stand and regain some tiny ounce of sanity. This game matters so much. So he's saying, do not let them into the NCAA tournament if they play Charles Bediako on Saturday. That's kind of what he's getting at.
I kind of love this by Pope. We've won 4 in a row, 13-6. If we can get a few teams ineligible for the NCAA tournament, we're pretty much a lock. That's the way he's looking at it. So I kind of love this from Pope. Like, not only does he get to be like come out on the side of like NBA players shouldn't play in college basketball, he also gets to double down and be like, well, if you just say Alabama can't be in the tournament, now I'm an auto bid. Like, permanently take us off the bubble.
It's an extra spot for them for sure. It obviously helps. I think he's right. I like that he's speaking up because like Tom Izzo spoke out against the Baylor stuff with Scott Drew, and he was like, Scott Drew's a good guy. I know him so well. I'm going to talk to him after this with James Najee. This sounds stupid, but Tom Izzo is like the older traditional guy. Of course he's going to say that. Like, of course he is. But Mark Pope being a younger, more analytical, like modern, forward-thinking, progressive type of guy in the sport, I think it's good to hear it from people like that. And I would like to hear from more people like that. So shout out to Mark Pope for that.
I had no idea Charles Bediako was like in the NBA or in the G League or like until he went back to Alabama. I just thought he wasn't at Alabama anymore. I didn't know what he was doing necessarily. You can't be 2 years removed from playing college basketball and be like, I guess I'm coming back. That's ridiculous, right? Like regardless of the level you're playing at, like it's the James and Najee stuff. I could almost get. Like I could almost get, like he isn't too far off like a Petrovic or Mirkovic or any of them because like he technically like yes he was drafted, yes he did make himself eligible for the draft, but he's never played in America before, right? Like
that's because he hasn't been good enough. Like the NBA team took him, he got traded for Karl Anthony Towns. He got traded. People play with him in 2K.
Yeah. That's true.
Like that's why that is wild to me. You know what I saw? It's really funny. I gotta find this. This shit was so funny this morning. I made sure I didn't quote it or anything. Here it is. So I go on Twitter this morning. I see Kyrie Walker tweets. He says, "My college recruitment is still 100% open."
My dog. I've never left Kyrie Walker Island. I've never left it. I watch his streams. I think there's something there.
He came into my one of my YouTube lives. I was literally just talking about like the games of the weekend to watch, like previewing matchups. And he came in after I tweeted something about like this is not real and he's not worth like bringing onto your team anyway. And he said like, "Hey, like how's your day going?" I was losing it. I was like, "This is so funny." But yeah, his recruitment is still open for anyone that thinks they need Kyrie Walker. There's a reason it's still open. There's also a reason that. Obviously, Bediako was at Alabama, so it was going to be Alabama or nowhere. But there's a reason that James Najee found a school like that.
Does it have to be Alabama or nowhere?
I don't think so. I just think that Bediako and his agent probably know Nate Oates and the staff, and they said if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be them.
That's true. I just feel like Bediako to me is so much more ridiculous than Najee. Like, I mean, Najee is crazy too because, like you mentioned, like he was traded, like literally a part of an NBA trade, which is nuts. And he was the 32nd pick. Like I said this to JK, if you're the 32nd pick in the draft, teams have a plan for you, right? Like if you're in the 40s, 50s, they might just be taking a flyer and being like, we'll see what happens. Or, maybe we're even taking you because we know you won't come to the NBA and we just don't want your salary on our salary cap type of thing. A lot of teams do that where it's like, we'll take this European dude that we know will never play an NBA, like never play in the NBA, and we just won't pay him. And then we don't have to worry about the salary.
Yeah.
But if you're the 32nd pick, like they had a plan. Like they saw a future with you, and it just didn't work. And you're 21 now playing at Baylor.
Yeah, and so he was the first pick of the second round. That means that at the end of the first round, this is like teams are the way the first round and the second round picks, like there's stipulations and contracts and a big break at the beginning of the second round, so you can be a lot more flexible in the NBA draft in the second round and what you do and whatever. So as the first round is ending, I think it was still the single day draft in 2023, which says all you need to know about how long ago it was. But he like teams are basically like trading up all over the place to be like the first pick of the second round. Like we want to make sure we hit and get our guy. Those are the first 5 picks of the second round. They're always like, our guy is still here. Let's go get him. Let's go get him right now. And like James Najee was that guy, whether he was a draft and stash or not. Rick Morty says that like no one cares about him. He's not good. He's not good. And Baylor's not good, which is good for people to see. But that's also not like, this is the problem. Now Charles Bediako is looking like, if James Najee never happened, I don't think Charles Bediako ever happens. And Charles Bediako is damn good. He was like a 7-7, I think he averaged in his second year for Bama, which doesn't seem like a lot, but he's a physical force. And now he's even more of a grown man. Like he'll be their best big next to with Aiden Sherrill. And like, that's exactly what Bama needs to be the best team in the SEC. So
I also think I've been saying it for like maybe the last 2 weeks on the I think I did a BYU preview with G. I think Abdullah Ahmed's good. I don't think enough people are talking about Abdullah Ahmed. He doesn't need to be playing college basketball to me. Like watching him play, like obviously he's not an NBA talent. I do think that's clear. But watching him play, it's clear that he played professional basketball to me. Like he's always in the right spot. He does the little things extremely well. And then he just blocks like a million shots. Yeah. Like just a million shots. And that's all they need no one's really talking about it. But he started playing like late November, early December.
Yeah, I think it was right around the end of the year. Yeah. And that's all they need, BYU, because they have a trio of guys, and then they just need to have some kind of capable players. Kevin Kate is a really good player too, but they just need some kind of capable players around them. They're playing my boy Boop for a lot of minutes, who I like a lot, good energy, but they can't be relying on Boop to win a national championship. So,
right. And you don't need much when you have DeBonsa, Saunders, and Wright. And Abdullah Ahmed's perfect. Block a bunch of shots, rebound the ball. Like, I'm actually surprised he's not playing more. But Kevin Kate is really good, like you said. Pickle Rick says Terminator is it February 17th yet. That Michigan Duke matchup, Michigan Purdue, that week, there's a world it breaks the channel. So I just want to get ahead of it. I still have Michigan as the best team in the Big Ten at the moment, but there is a world that week breaks the channel. But we'll get into a few games. Kentucky wins by 5 against Texas. I'm not blown away by this Kentucky's team. So they're on a four-game win streak.
It's good for them, and they needed the baseball pass, and I forget what the other buzzer beater, whatever it was. They needed to basically somehow crunch out, comeback win games to figure it out. But that's the Cardiac Cats in the second half. So shout out to them. They got results. That's all they need, really. Like their analytical profile is good enough, but it also nothing really matters right now. Like I believe how Mark Pope has them, that like they go in the locker room. Hey, if we lose today, we're out of the tournament. Like that's how they have to treat every game at this point. They're going to be in the tournament. They're winning enough games. Their resume is good enough. But that's how they need to treat every game through the month of January. And then in February, be like, okay, now can we talk about beating teams that are quote unquote better than us in the SEC and trying to push for better seeding and stuff like that. But I like the mentality. I think it helps them because when they thought they were the best, they were getting their ass kicked. And even though it looked like that in a couple of games, they figured out a way. And I think they are 5 points better than Texas. So that's what they need to win those games. Like they were at home too, right? They need to win that game. So good win for them, and they just got to roll the next one. I don't know who they have next, but keep rolling.
Yeah, I mean, and I love that we like might be able to speed that timeline up. Like if we just get all the teams with G Leaguers ineligible, like I honestly I love that Mark Pope quote is so special to me. Like let's just get BYU, I guess Baylor made themselves ineligible for the tournament, but let's get BYU. I think Louisville has a G Leaguer playing.
I think he might have redshirted him, London Johnson.
Did they?
He's not ready to play, but
that
says a lot. That says a lot about the guys that are coming from the G League and ready to play. Charles Bediako is the first guy that played in college already. So this is where you'll see the difference. And if you see other guys, I can't think of anyone on top of my head that also is within their 5-year eligibility window also. I think that's the biggest thing, where this is Bediako's last year. He could play even if he did. I can't think of any other players off top of my head. I'm sure there are a small handful that are like still have a year within their window or something like that and left after 2 years or whatever. Hey, Melo Trimble played 3 years. He skipped his 4th year. Let's bring him back to Maryland. That'd be crazy.
Huge Melo Trimble guy. Also, as a Warriors fan, I say this to NBA teams, Europe, NBL, college. If anybody wants Jonathan Kuminga, he is available. Like he is available. He has a 2-year contract. Like we'll pay his NIL if Baylor wants him.
He'd be a problem. But by the way, on Kentucky thing, I saw a comment that makes sense. What's the solution with no Cam now? Cam Williams started the last 2 or 3 games, and now he's hurt and going to be out for a while, which sucks. I actually like Cam Williams a lot. He hasn't been like their best player or super consistent. No one really has, to be honest. But that's a big blow on the wing for sure.
I love Cam Williams. I said I thought he was an NBA guy, like in the offseason. I think that's his level of talent. I mean, I don't think he's like played up to like what everybody thought he would be, but he's only a sophomore, right? Like he's got time to grow. Like I don't think he was like I think the expectations for Cam Williams just got a little out of control this offseason. It's clear that expectations for all of Kentucky just got a little crazy at moments this offseason. And if we just dialed it back in, I think Cam's been playing fine. Rick said that he wanted to shout. Can we talk about how legendary Cart and G are for having an hour and 40-minute Purdue at UCLA recap, just going at it about Fletch for 40 minutes? Cart and G are the GOATs. Simple as that. But I did want to get your thoughts on the Purdue loss. That was a big topic for us yesterday on here.
Did it actually last that long?
Yeah, so the Purdue recaps, I love the Purdue recaps. They're always so long, and I knew the first loss was going to be a crazy long video. It was a special video.
Oh my god, I gotta go watch the whole thing. I haven't gotten around to a couple of recaps yet. I'm not surprised that they're basically Purdue fans. I mean, they have to be Purdue fans. Like I get it. It's funny because like the last possession where like people wanted the hard hedge or like commit to a switch, whatever it is, Donovan Dent's frying, but he also had 12 assists at that point. Tyler Biddle had 3 made threes. Like you have to hard hedge that. You have to figure out a way to cover that pop off the twist screen a little bit. But they're shot bricking on the rim away from that game, literally from that recap being 15, 20 minutes long, and then being like, and then just being like, oh, Purdue survived on a tough road game at UCLA. Like they're 1 shot away from that, but they also definitely did struggle in that game a little bit. Fletch has not been shooting the ball well. I know he's gone through a cold stretch every year, but I saw someone, I forget who it was, on Twitter. He might have been one of our guys, say like maybe the senior, the vet, the 4th-year guy shouldn't be going through these cold stretches anymore, though. Like maybe that should be happening. But I don't know. I just saw the comment too. I was about to say about playing Benter more also. Purdue fans are clamoring for more Benter, and even Harris too. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I just don't know if they're going to like willingly sit Fletch more. TKR is playing less than we anticipated because Clough has been their best big, but I don't know. I don't think it's really the end of the world for Purdue, to be completely honest. Like I don't really think anything different of them after this game. I get it. I understand why like little things you worry about to winning a national championship, and their defense is always what worries me. For their ceiling, it's obviously not the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, I don't think much different of them, even though I will watch the hour 40 recap for sure.
I agree. So my whole take yesterday was like bad game, West Coast swing. It happens, right? Like I don't think I'm not sure yet that like these college teams are equipped for like West Coast road trips, and I'm not sure like how much they ever like really will get equipped for it. And I think whenever you make these trips, you're liable to lose one, and that's all that happened pretty much. So like I didn't think too much of it. I kind of honestly I thought they were going to lose the USC game and win the UCLA one, so I just had it flipped. But to me, I said it yesterday, the Iowa State game's the one I can't get out of my head. I can forget this UCLA game by Saturday, but that Iowa State game to me in Mackey, just the way it went down, that's where like Purdue lost a little bit of me with that Iowa State game that I just haven't been able to get back in on. But the UCLA game, I can forget by Saturday. I don't think that one was that big of a deal.
It's a good point. It's interesting. Like during that game, when that game happened, I remember I was there. And I remember afterwards being like, I mean, if you're Purdue, it's fairy dust. You have to leave it behind you. Like if you're the team, obviously, like you cannot watch the film of this game. Like you literally cannot watch it. But this year, it's weird. I want to feel like I say the same with you, but I differ a little bit. I still think it's like burn the tape. That's not them because like Michigan's not 40 points better than Gonzaga. Iowa State's not 20, 30 plus points better than Iowa State. there have been so many blowouts at the top of literal top teams. Iowa State got their ass kicked by Kansas. They're objectively a better team than Kansas still. They are a better team, and they're definitely not 20, 30 points worse than them. Those are games where you burn the tape, and it's happening so much at the top that, like, does that say something about the teams that are losing? So, like, Gonzaga, Purdue, Iowa State, maybe they're not built to win national titles like we thought maybe all three of them could be. Or maybe they are burn the tape. I don't know. Like, if they all lose before the Final Four, it'll be pretty evident. And there are a couple other teams that have lost like that. It'll be pretty evident. Like, okay, you can't trust those teams that lose massive, massive games. But I don't know. It's happened before with national champions and Final Four teams where they just have like a game during the year where they just completely choke, like they just completely suck. So I don't know.
Yeah, it just like to me, like the way they got punked against Iowa State is something that was kind of hard to forget. But I do think it's one of those like burn the tape. Or one of my favorite things football coaches do when they take like the film from like a bad game and they go to the 50-yard line and then bury it. I
Love
love
it.
that
Love it. Although the grounds people are going to have to probably dig that up, I imagine.
for sure.
Safety precautions. Rick Morty also said, I want to address this. He said Purdue won 9 in a row. They have to win 6 to win the national title. The 9 games they won in a row were Minnesota, Marquette, Auburn, Kent State, Wisconsin, Washington, Penn State, Iowa, USC. You have 2 or 3 tournament teams that you would see in the first round, probably maybe the second round if you're lucky. So yes, you have to win only 6 to win a national title, but you're going to have to go beat Iowa and then a UCLA and then an Illinois and then Michigan, like those type of teams in a row, one after another, and then Iowa State and then UConn. Like that's how those things work. So I don't think it's that simple.
Blake said, I don't like Cronin's style, but got a hat tip him. He laid into them big time after the Ohio State loss and didn't really respond to his best game of his career. I agree. Part of my point yesterday, though, I do think it's a little bit of an issue how great Dent was against Purdue. I think that is some of the defensive flaws that we've discussed with Purdue because, listen, like Dent has objectively been bad this year.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like the worst player in the world, but like to go from what he's been all year to that performance for as good of a performance as it was by Dent, you have to look at it and be like, listen, Purdue, like some of this is on you too.
Yeah. It definitely is. Donovan, I still think he's a talent, ability wise, and what we've known, he's still one of the best guards in the country. Obviously, this year he hasn't been, but that was fun. That was good to see out of him. It was good to see confidence. It was good to see a big double-double like he's had in New Mexico time after time again. I just don't think the UCLA system fits him well. And I wish he never went there. And Cronin is just like, I saw some comments about him. Like he's miserable sometimes. He really is. Like they won that game and he was complaining about scheduling. I'm like, is this guy serious right now? Like, give it a rest, dude. Holy shit. You won a big game.
UCLA, so I say this about North Carolina, and we'll get into North Carolina quickly too. I say this about North Carolina. I always say Carolina blue used to mean something. Like to me, growing up on the West Coast, like I'm so far removed from a lot of like the elite college basketball towns or like, the blue bloods, but like the teams that stuck out to me, one of them was North Carolina. And to see where they're at, like Carolina blue used to mean something. Like you played North Carolina, you feared Carolina blue a little bit. UCLA basketball used to mean something too, right? like that was all we had out here was UCLA and Arizona. And like UCLA really used to mean something. Mick Cronin, if you're UCLA, you should be able to get a better coach than Mick Cronin.
But they haven't been bad enough for them to fire. They're going to have to fire him at some point because they need to hold themselves to a higher standard in basketball. They have to. They just have to if they want to be taken seriously with the brand name that they are and have had over the years. I will say that like the 11 seed play in Final Four team saves the UCLA modern legacy and brand and saves things like that have been keeping him alive and keeping UCLA the brand that they are and players coming over and donors still active. I don't think those things will go away. But my thing is like USC has struggled a lot to like get people to games even though they try really hard. And UCLA environment hasn't been like amazing either. And people aren't as bought in for the fan base. Like how do you who if Eric Musselman can't get you bought in at USC energy wise, who can get you bought in at UCLA? Like, I don't know who that guy is. Like who has ties, who makes sense for that job if you don't go to Mick Cronin? That's my question.
I don't know.
Who takes the job? Like, does Josh Schertz take the job? That'd be fun.
I mean, Pope?
Why would he leave? He's a Kentucky guy. I feel like.
I mean, if you time the Cronin firing, I'm not saying Pope gets fired this year, but like if Pope were to ever leave, which I mean,
Okay.
it does feel like it's trending towards that at some point.
I don't know. I think they'd have to go for someone that fits a West Coast style. In my brain, I think of football and basketball the same way. Spread offense. Let the boys let's play. Let's be exciting. I literally go to Josh Shirts and I go to St. Louis because they're on fire this year. If they get to the tournament and be like, hey, my brother, do I have an opportunity for you to come coach at UCLA where the great Kareem played, where we've had Russell Westbrook and Kevin Love and NBA stars out the wazoo and John Wooden, everything. Like, how does Josh Shirt say no to that? How does he say no?
Now, this is extremely far fetched, but I've done a couple videos with you, and what I'm about to say is extremely far fetched. That is also how you describe John Calipari, though.
How I describe him?
Yeah, or like the Arkansas offense, like let the boys play offense.
Yeah. Well, Josh Shirts is not like that. I meant, but yes, John Calipari would be great for UCLA.
Yeah,
Amazing. You kidding me? The stars would be out every night. It'd be amazing. Let the boys hoop. That's how our John Calipari likes to play. Josh Shirts is not just let the boys hoop. Let the boys make smart strategic decisions within the elite offensive system. But there's an ounce of that every now and then. Someone says Miami, Ohio coach Travis Steele. I don't think Travis Steele is ready for UCLA, although he's a great coach. Don't know if he's the guy for UCLA, but if they go undefeated on the year, then fuck, why not?
let's talk North Carolina quickly. Big win against Notre Dame. Um, Caleb Wilson's pops came in the comments and said that Caleb Wilson appreciates me saying that he can't shoot. Caleb Wilson immediately had his best shooting performance ever in college, so I do want to shout him out. Like, I mean, it was a great game by Caleb. He proved he can knock down threes. What are your thoughts on North Carolina? Like, where are they at? Like, where do they go from here? It feels like Hubert's not leaving anyway. And big
He's
win for
not.
North Carolina, Riggins.
He's a Carolina guy. This is what I hate about Georgetown with Pat Ewing. This is what I hate about even Kentucky with Mark Pope. This is what, although they're a little more ruthless. What I hate about Hubert and Carolina, Syracuse and Red Autry, you hire your own guys, you get stuck on them for too long. Georgetown program got put in the shitter and it got stuffed into the fucking incinerator into the bottom because they had their own guy and they could not get rid of him for so long because they didn't want to do that to their legend. Hubert's a little different. I think Carolina has higher standards to the sense that like their team's still good and they want to be even better. Hubert is not the guy to get them anywhere close to a national championship. Like he got them to a Final Four in year one, but like they were Caleb Love and Armando were just doing their thing, and Caleb Love is going crazy. Like I don't really credit that to Hubert. I got to be honest. He's obviously not the coach. The way he puts rosters together, the lack of adjustments he needs in games, and when he does make adjustments, like the Stanford game, he switched to a 2-3 and they were shooting like 50% from three. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we actually doing here? They cannot defend guards. Like the way their system runs is not conducive for making that North Carolina, like you said, the North Carolina that we know and love and that we grew up with. I don't know where they go from here this year. They just play, and they hope that Henry Vasar and Caleb Wilson play against little small boy teams. Like if they play against Vanderbilt in the tournament, love that. They're not going to stop Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar. Vanderbilt probably still wins that game, but that's a good team that they can beat in like the Sweet 16 or whatever to make a run. Their defense is just miserable. They, especially on the perimeter, they don't have the depth they need. And like I said, that big duo is fun, but they're going nowhere. I don't think that West Coast trip is just like a West Coast trip. They lost 2 games out there. No, Abuka Okori put 40 on your head. Like it's that simple.
Yeah. If Abuka Okori puts 40 on your head and you lose, but then you bounce back and beat Cal, I probably could be like, like West Coast trip, you lost one. But like Abuka Okori drops 40, then you lose to Mark Madsen. Like that's tough, man.
They play UVA this week. UVA is maybe my favorite team in the country right now. I think it's a terrible matchup for Carolina, which means it'll probably be a game they win for no reason. The UVA shot blockers are amazing. So if they're going to be great versus really good bigs like the Carolina bigs, that is a huge check mark for UVA. But on paper, this is a terrible matchup for them. They have 4 or 5 different guards who can light you up, so they can all have a career night. And then they have great shot blockers to defend big. So this is a nightmare matchup for Carolina. Again, they probably win that game for no reason at all because I just said that. But this will be a big test. Like I could literally see them getting their ass kicked, and then we'd be like, "Holy shit, Carolina is in huge trouble."
Tominator said D next time don't say anything and we take his unders. Yeah, listen, man, it was it was it was a good Caleb Wilson game. Like you know, like I was wrong. Like I said he can't shoot, and he knocked down a three within like 5 or 6 minutes, man. Like I was just sitting there, I'm like, of course this is what happened.
You're not wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, he can't. Like, but like he proved like there's something there, like with his shooting, right? Because I was kind of curious, like, is there? Because you always look at these guys that can't shoot, like, what's the potential for them? Like, what are they going to grow into as NBA guys, right? Like, he proved like maybe I can't shoot now, but there is something here, you know. Like don't think that like there's no ability to make a three, right? Like he went. This was his best shooting performance in college, but it was still one of three. But like I am willing to say like I said it, and then he came out and had his best shooting performance. So like I do got to own that and tip the hat to him. Like I was in the moment wrong. College B-ball gambler says, Ryan, what's your Final Four right now?
I was just typing back in the comments, listing a bunch of teams. I hate this question, but everyone always likes to get an answer. If I had to make a Final Four today, bracket, whatever it looks like, I would pick Arizona. I'd pick one of Iowa State or Houston. I'd probably pick one of UVA or Duke, and then maybe a UConn or Purdue. I know I just gave you like 7 or 8 teams. Final 8. There you go. But I would go Arizona, Iowa State, UVA, and Purdue.
My Final Four, I know no one asked, and I don't blame y'all because it's been the same Final Four since August. So
I like that.
It's I like Purdue, Duke, UConn, and then the ones Purdue, Duke, UConn, Michigan. I think Michigan's the one switch up I've had all year. But like 5th honorable mention team, Houston fans have been killing me in the comments all year, but then they're like, yo, you're ducking the previews all of a sudden and like blah, blah, blah. Houston is my 5th team. Houston, I do believe Houston's turned that corner. I have Arizona out of my Final Four at the moment. I kind of think Arizona's playing too much of a gauntlet, and I think they're going to get got. And I hate to say that, but that's my like hot take. I still think they're one of the best 4 teams in the country, but my hot take is UConn's bodies are going to be prepared for it. Duke's bodies are going to be prepared for it. Michigan's the team with the talent, and Purdue's your preseason number 1. Arizona's the team that like kind of has to play the gauntlet that might like limp into it.
Yeah, it could be true, and I think it's funny because like we see dominant teams all year go to the tournament, and then they lose a game where you're like, I literally cannot believe that happened. And it happens all the time. So I could see that being the case with Arizona, although they look so good. I went back and found my preseason Final Four. I love it.
Who'd you have?
Houston, Duke, Purdue, and Texas Tech. I fucking love that. I love
Houston, Duke, Purdue. That's great.
I love it. I love it. I had Texas Tech as like the 5th best team in the country to start the year. We're back.
I mean, honestly, that might be one of the more entertaining Final Fours we could get.
That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Texas Tech is so good. I just want to see Arizona, Houston, Iowa State, Texas Tech. Give me 4 Big 12 teams. I love the Big 12. It's my favorite league in the country to watch. It's the best balance of absolutely everything on both sides of the ball. NBA talent, great coach. It's the best balance of everything. It's amazing.
Let's just move the Big 12 tournament to March Madness, basically.
But no, that court can't do it. They're gonna have to play it again.
Real quickly, then we'll get you out of here. Neither one of us mentioned Illinois, but Illinois, another big victory for Illinois. They beat Maryland by 19. They're now on a 8-game win streak where only 2 games were single digits.
Yeah. By the way, I'm answering Rick Morty. I'm not a Big East guy. I just live in New Jersey, and I'm from New Jersey, so I go to those games a lot. It's easy to get to. Illinois. I mean, Maryland sucks. Listen, I'm a Maryland guy too. They're terrible. So Diggy Coy can only do so much sometimes. Illinois is weird team without Kylan. I wonder how they're going to look against when they play Nebraska and Michigan and teams like that. I don't like that for them. But I don't know. I don't trust. They've been relatively inconsistent at points this year, even though they've been great the last few weeks for the most part. Their interior defense is going to get manhandled by somebody at some point. It's the same thing that happened last year. Like Derek Queen and Maryland torched them at one point in their front court. And I forget what a couple of the other front courts like Michigan State. Like it's a huge problem for them. So I think at some point it's just going to take them down, and it's going to be earlier than the Final Four, and that's why I refuse to mention them.
I like Illinois. I think they're good. I think a 19-point win without Kylan is very impressive.
Over Maryland, nothing's impressive.
That's fair. That's
I'm dead
fair.
serious, yeah.
To me, it's just respectfully to the Big Ten. Like I like the Big 12 more. I think I'm on the same side with Hammer. I think the Big 12 is like the most entertaining conference. I watch a lot of Big Ten basketball. Obviously, that's a large portion of what we do on the channel. You're gonna be hard pressed to convince me 3 Big Ten teams are making the Elite Eight, though.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Even though the Big Ten's in the best year they've been in maybe ever. So it still doesn't matter. They've never had this many top tier contenders. I will say that, which means they're obviously all going to lose early.
Yeah, it's like one of those situations where like. I do think this is the best Big Ten that's been in a while. But if I think Purdue and Michigan are as good as they are, like it's hard for me to believe like there's going to be another Big Ten team in the Elite Eight, because that means that teams from the Big 12 won't be in there. That means like a Duke won't be in there. Like somebody from the SEC is going to like show up and make a run in the tournament too, right? Like there's going to be a Cinderella. Like I just think Illinois is more so like the odd man out. I think they've been amazing. I think they've been a great team. Ricky Smart says we need to get DNC on his walls in the background. That's my Final Four goal. Like I'm gonna bring an extra bag to the Final Four. I want to leave with some stuff.
It'll be easy to do that. It'll be very easy to do that. It's a good point about Illinois too. It's like Charles Bediako is going to lead Alabama to the Elite Eight. So they take a spot right there. I saw someone ask about the stuff behind me real fast. By the way, it's a lot of like Funko Pops and stuff. So there's like Funko Pops of some Pokemon and some Marvel stuff. There's a couple of sports cards and family things, and then a couple of like old Coke bottle and a Black Panther thing holding my Xbox controller to get your answer.
I love the Curry jersey. I know I said that the first video we did. I'm gonna say it every single time. Love the Curry jersey.
I need to make it's an investment. It was an investment.
How did you get it?
They're like, I'm a big sports card collector, and I used to be very heavily. Sorry, I was reading the comments too. There's a couple of websites that like sell stuff like that, like very accredited websites. And I was looking into old college jerseys of like a Jalen Suggs Gonzaga jersey and like stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, but why would I get that when in 20 years, 30 years, there's a chance that people are going to be like, okay, cool, I guess. So I was like, you know what? I'll spend a little bit more money, double the price of what that was, and I will get something like that of someone that I know is like an appreciating asset over time. Because I've seen the rise of sports cards go absolutely crazy with like LeBron stuff over time, and when he retires, inevitably Steph also. I think having a college thing is also just like, it makes sense. It's a good translation to me, and I think it's cooler than all of his Golden State stuff. So,
he has one more year of eligibility too.
Dude, imagine if he had to go to Davidson though. Had to go to Davidson.
Honestly, I still think like I'm not trying to be disrespectful with this comment. People probably kill me for it. Stephon Davidson for sure makes a run.
Oh, absolutely. They won't win the national championship though.
Who beats him?
What?
Who beats him?
Anyone with size.
I don't know much about Davidson outside of Steph, but if you gave him like a G League 7-footer. I think
that's a different story. If you give him Charles Bediako, yeah, they probably that's a good way to end. I feel like. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Probably what Ricky Smarty said. I'm a Charizard guy.
I'm all over the place. Out of the starters, the only one I don't have is low-key one of my favorites, Bulbasaur. Love the Bulbasaur line of evolution. I like Eevee also.
Okay. I'm gonna ask this, and you can say no. Is there any way we could get you on here regularly?
Yeah. Talk to my bosses.
Who? G and Cart?
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
We'll make
the people listen. You guys in the comments here are so. This is very friendly vibe. Every time I've done this so far, the few times where some of the other stuff it gets very aggressive, and I don't like that. But that's okay. That's okay. It's okay.
We didn't talk Houston today. Yesterday, we talked Houston for a little while. And Houston fans came after me in the comments. They do not like that I make Milo shouldn't have went to the draft jokes.
You're saying he should have or shouldn't have?
I make jokes that like I always say it's disrespectful to the draft process that he went to the
Oh, I
college.
have heard you say that.
They get really bad about that, and I'm just like, it's just a joke. Like, but I mean, I do firmly believe this, and they got mad at me about this too. Listen, if Kingston Flemings wasn't special, Houston would have had a big problem, a big problem earlier in the year.
I would hope that Miles would be doing more, but it's tough. It is tough out there. Listen, he's Miles is good, really good college guard. He'll have his two-way chance this summer in summer league and stuff. But yeah, that's an angry way to say it. And Houston fans, I get it.
Good news, Houston fans. He signs a two-way or an Exhibit 10.
Come back.
Doesn't rule him out for a return.
You don't know. You don't know if he might not be done exactly. So I get it.
Love everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate you for coming on, Hammer.
Of course, I love this. Let's do it.